So this morning we saw some volatility. We saw the S&P futures trade down to the 68.18 level. Nasdaq futures traded down below the 25,440. But I told everyone, even before the market opened during the pre-market, I said, even where the S&Ps and the Nasdaq are, the QQQs and the spiders and the Dow, the diamonds, the 30 and the 60-minute time frames were still in buy mode. So there was underlying strength in the market, and it was very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. And what happened? Market started pushing up, had a couple of shorts along the way, and then the 15-minute time frame on the SPY reversed to buy, and it correlated with its 30 and 60-minute time frame. Then we got buy reversals on the S&P futures on the 15 and the 30, and guess what? Up and away. There was a beautiful pattern that happened roughly around the I think around the 12:30 time period. Let me just see what time that was on the 5-minute time frame. Now we tried to buy that pattern, believe it or not, and we missed it by literally by 50 cents. That happened at right around the 12 o'clock time period. So that pattern was the first pullback on the 5-minute time frame after the 15 reversed to buy. It was an absolute Picasso. S&Ps rallied up about 15, but prior to that, we had a great short on a sell divergence, and I'll show you that on the spiders on the S&P. That was the first pattern, the short. It dropped 15, and then that low at 40 on the S&P 68.40, then rallied, and ultimately we pushed up to the 68.73 before dropping about 13 points at the end of the day. Now, there were some big sell divergences. Again, you could have sell divergences in a positive trend, and that's exactly what happened there. Today, the Russell was up 1.8%, very strong. The bank stocks up. Goldman up very strong here today. The Russell was up 4.42%. We saw the Dow up about, the Russell was up 1.8%. We saw the Dow up about 1%. We saw the Nasdaq not acting that right. Microsoft down 11, really put a lot of pressure on the market. Microsoft down over 2%. We saw Tesla up over $17, up near the 4% for the day. Gold very, very volatile today. There was gold was pushing up to the 42.70 level, 42.73, dropped all the way down to 42.26.27, rallied right back up. Gold was very wild today. The volatility in the commodity in silver and gold were absolutely insane today. We saw the likes of Meta not acting right today. Meta at the end of the day had a big sell-off, down about 7. Nvidia could not get going. The 30 and the 15-minute time frames were in sell mode, and when Nvidia pushed up into that negative MACD on the 30, it was all over. Coinbase and MSTR, Coinbase up over 5%, up 13. Again, for some reason, don't ask me why, Bitcoin's only up about 1,500. Bitcoin is up about 12,000 points from the lows, 93,000. Bitcoin, but Coinbase had some really great longs off the 15-minute time frame at 12:30 and 2 o'clock, and I'll show you that as well. We saw, again, Tesla very strong. Tesla had what's called a double blue buy signal, the 5-minute time frame correlating with its 15, 30, and 60. Tesla ran about 2.5. But the real big story on Tesla was a deep oversold condition that we got right around the, I would say, 11:30 off the bull flag. Tesla was very, very strong as well. Palantir up about 3%, over up 5. Palantir, great pattern in Palantir off the 15-minute time frame reversing to buy. That was another great one. So why don't we just get right to it here. Again, the ADXs on the IWMs were very strong, especially when the 60-minute time frame reversed to buy. What do you look to do? You buy the pullbacks. And there's so much to show you, but let me just start with this here. So coming into the day, looking at the 30-minute and the 60-minute time frame, we were very, even when we got this push down today, right here, even when we got this push down right here to new lows, you can see the yellow dots, which is the price within the algorithm. We were nowhere nearing that they were going to reverse here. Okay, the 60 was very bullish, the 30 is very bullish on indicator 4, and then the real strategy here was when you can see here when the 15-minute time frame reverses to buy right here. Now, normally when you have the MACDs right here, indicator 1 above the pivot, here's the pivot line on the 15, 30, and 60. You could take the short. That's exactly what we did. We took the short. S&P futures were trading around the 68.55. We were in a range 68, I think 52 up to 60, 68, like 57. The high was 55. And then you can see the drop here, 683.55. You can see the drop of about 18, 19 points, which is about $1.80, $1.90 on the spiders. And then that was the low. So basically you take the short, but now you're in what's called a buy trend, the 15 correlating with indicator 4 on the 30 and 60, and then what you look to do, you try to buy the first pullback on the 5-minute, which was let me see, it was right here, and I tried to buy the S&Ps here at 39.5. The low was 40, and you can see the runs 681.61. You can see the rally here, 20 points on the S&P. So all right, but then there were some other grid longs here, like this one we caught this long here, and then we did have this long here below. I remember this one here, and then at the end of the day, you can see, I'll show you this on the S&P futures, when you're making new highs here, right here at 73.25, the MACDs could not confirm the highs here on the 5-minute time frame. So we got this little short here, then I caught a very nice little scalp long here on the S&Ps, rallied from the lows there about 3.5, 4, and then the imbalance came out with about $1 billion to sell on the 1.3 billion to sell, and they actually cabooshed them right down to 59.25 before rallying right back up, about 5-6 points there on the S&P. Great patterns there. I'm going to show you Netflix really quick. Netflix reversing here, big sells here. Netflix got absolutely cabooshed. The ADXs are rising. You can see the 30-minute time frame. This is a great short right here. 103.77 dropped about a little more than a point here or so here. But then here's the real big pattern here. When the 15-minute time frame reverses to buy, there's an 85% chance that the lows are in for the day. So when you got that short here, 103.82 and 103.09, because the algorithm reversed to buy, now going from a negative trend to a sell disconnect, the odds are 85% that the lows are in for the day, which the low here, if I can see, was 102.03. Netflix, basically bounced off this number and then pushed up here. So we'll wait to see what happens with Netflix tomorrow when the 60s get overbought into these negative MACDs. The Russell here, very, very strong, like I said. At the end of the day, I will just show you this here. When the algorithm reverses to buy with the MACD above the pivot, you could take the short here. You can see 249.19, dropped about 50 cents. But then the strategy is, once you get this big buy here at 130, you look to buy every pullback on the 5-minute time frame. So here's 130. Here's one here at right here's one. And really didn't really get another one till the end of the day, right around here, 249.41, and it pushed up about 40 cents. But here's what you need to remember, okay? When the 30-minute time frame, right here, the 30-minute and the 15-minute time frame, the MACDs are rallying like this. You can see the algorithm reversing to buy on the Russell right here at 11:30. Okay, now you're in what's called the buy disconnect. The 30-minute correlates with the 15. Let's look at the 60-minute time frame. This reverses to buy at 1:30. So, but let's just go back to the 30-minute right here. You can see that this pattern right here is the first pullback on the 15-minute time frame. So 248.70. You can see it rallied about $1. But overall, when you have MACDs positive like this, rising ADXs, big buying pressure on both the 30 and the 15, what do you look to do? Well, you look to buy the pullbacks off the 3-minute time frame. Much better, clearer patterns here. You can see the 3-minute. Here's one, okay. Actually, one starting at 130. Here's one right here. One. Here's two. Okay. Here's potentially three here, right into the 10 bar. Here's four. Okay. Here's five. So basically, when the ADXs are rising and you have big buying pressure, the strategy is to buy the first pullback on the 5-minute time. When you have ADXs rising and you have big buying pressure, it's going to be very, very difficult to buy the pullbacks on the 5. As long as the 15-minute ADX is rising and the 30 is with big buying pressure, you could most likely get pullbacks off the 3-minute time frame. You may get lucky to get a couple pullbacks off the 5, but the 3s are really going to do it until then. What you want to do is then potentially now wait for a deeper pullback on the 5 and then a nicer pullback on the 15. Especially once that 60-minute time frame reversed to buy, now you want to look for a nice deep oversold condition on the 15. Let's look at Palantir today, another great one, PLTR. Palantir reversing here to buy on the 15. And at the time, Palantir was already bullish on the 60-minute. So here's what happened at 10:45. The 15-minute Palantir reverses to buy. It correlated with its 60, so you're in a buy disconnect. I told everybody, look at this long here off the 15. I said, look to buy this Palantir below the 174, 173 to 174. The low got down to 173.52. So basically, Palantir rallied, almost about 280. 270, 280, and then when the 30-minute time frame reverses to buy, right here on Palantir at 3 o'clock, what do you look to do? Well, you try to buy the pullbacks on the 5-minute. Let's see if we got any. Really, to tell you the truth, we didn't get any pullbacks here. Again, so the algorithm reverses to buy here at 3. So really, there were no real good pullbacks here on Palantir. Now, again, if you look at Palantir, you can see the 15-minute time frame, the ADX is rising. Look at the yellow dots into the blue, and I'll swear to you, if you pull up the 3-minute, I bet you caught a couple off the 3. So again, here's one, boom, okay, ADX is rising. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful long here. Here's one, boom, okay, here's two, boom, okay, 174.95. Rallied about 60 cents, and that's about it. So again, when those ADXs are rising, okay, when those ADXs are rising, all right, it's really important, okay, to understand that when you're trading the market, it's important that recognizing that how these ADXs are. When you see this type of magnitude of these big buying pressures and these ADXs rising, it's absolutely unbelievable pattern, all right, to be looking for longs. Nvidia reversing to sell on the 30-minute time frame right here. Nvidia, again, not acting great here. Nvidia reverses to sell on the 30-minute time frame, okay. What do you look to do? You take the shorts on the 15. Now, if you look here, you're making new highs here at 10:45, 182.45. But the MACDs did not confirm the high on the 15 and on the 30. This is a monster short here, monster short. Okay, and what do you look to do? Well, Nvidia hits a high of 182.45 and got absolutely cabooshed here. Okay, more than about $2.60 here, $2.50. Tesla, complete animal today. Tesla up about almost 4%. Tesla was the key here. Look at this beautiful bull flag, oversold, rising ADX, rising big buying pressure, positive MACD. Tesla reversing to buy here at that was yesterday, but coming in, we gapped up on Tesla. Now we did take a short here, because if you look at Tesla on the 60-minute time frame, when you got the short, what time is this here? This is the short right here. Is it 10:30? Let me see, the 30-minute, was it the 30? Okay, so we got the big push up here. The ADXs are rising, right? And when you have this big pattern where the ADXs are rising, you look to buy pullbacks on the 5-minute. Okay, so Tesla very, very, very strong here, especially coming in. All the time frames were bullish. You can see here, this is today, 12.3. We gapped up. Again, the MACDs couldn't confirm, but then it dropped. And then another great short here because basically the 60-minute MACDs, if I bring them up right here, the 60-minute MACDs could not confirm the high, and then it dropped, and then there was some news here. But overall, look at that beautiful pattern. Now I'm going to show you the 5-minute time frame doing what's called a double blue buy, which means that the 5-minute time frame correlates, okay, with its 15, 30, and 60. Again, you could have taken a scalp short, okay, but if you above and then lower your stop, and then this is the real pattern right here. The deep oversold condition on the 5-minute time frame. You could have started buying here, here, and it ultimately got down no lower than 445. And I said, look to buy Tesla here between the 43.80 and the 45.80 range. The low was 445.03. And then kaboom, look at that, up about 260, 270 on Tesla. Another great pattern. So again, when you get these double blues, a double blue is when the 5-minute time frame correlates with its 15, 30, and 60. An absolute Picasso. So again, you wait patiently. You could take the short if you like, and then you just wait for the pullback on the 5-minute. Last one of the night is Coinbase here, COIN. Coinbase very strong here. You can see the push up here. Now, when Coinbase was pushing up early in the morning, I actually took some shorts here. Okay, the MACDs couldn't confirm on the 30 and the 60, not once but twice here above 275. And then what do you look to do? The ADXs are rising on the 30 and on the 60 and on the 30. What do you look to do? You look to buy the pullbacks on the 5 and 15. Here's the 15 reversing here exactly at 9:45. You can see that Coinbase was still bullish on the 30 and 60, and then you try to buy this beautiful oversold condition, which we called below 273. And here's the second pullback here, again below 274, and up and away. Coinbase rallied about 3 on the second one. Here it rallied from 73 to 76, a little more than 3.5 points. So again, these patterns are very, very powerful. And that's what I teach here every single day at SK Trading. Without this software, I would never, ever be able to see the direction of the market, the divergence patterns, and the conditions that I see and how to trade the markets, okay? All right, with that being said, when I get back, I will tell you what I expect for tomorrow. So again, if we get a push up tomorrow, these MACDs are not confirming on the 60-minute time frames on the spiders, the Qs, and the Russell, the diamonds, the Qs, and the spiders. So right now we're at a 93 overbought reading on the Qs, 85 on the spiders. So if we do get any type of push up tomorrow, I think again, like I said, between now and the end of the year, I think we're just going to be in range bound. S&P futures, the range today was 68.18 to 68.73, closing 68.63. So for me, I think the most important thing is that when you're trading the market, you want to be able to just understand the type of environment that we're in. We're in seasonality here. The market's going to close up on the year. They're going to make it, maybe all-time highs, who knows. But again, I would be in cash because I think a caboose is coming, and especially into the first quarter, and volatility will be here very, very soon. But for tomorrow, I think if we do get any type of push up here, I do believe that we're gonna it will be a shorting opportunity because you'll have non-confirmations getting overbought into these negative MACDs. Just to give you an example, we closed 683. Algorithm reverses to sell on the spiders on the 60 minutes, 677.44. That's 60 points. That means the S&Ps would have to close on the hourly chart below 66.02. I just don't see that. The QQQs, 615.48. you're talking 8 points on the NASDAQ. I don't see on the QQQs. That means the NASDAQ would have to drop more than 200, almost 250, 300 points for that to happen, and I don't see that happening. All right. So again, any rally tomorrow, I'll be looking to short. If we do get some type of oversold conditions tomorrow on the 15s, the 30s, or the 60s, I think there's a lot of underlying buying here. So I think, again, I'd be looking for longs on a deep oversold condition, either on the 15, the 30, or the 60. All right. When I get back, I want to talk to you about the psychology of trading. So as a trader, one of the most important things is the fact that not to overthink, to be able to trade loosey-goosey. I always tell people to be loosey-goosey. I should tell that to my son every time when he was getting in Nevada's box, Stephen, loosey-goosey. And he would just go in there and see the ball and hit it. Boom, right? I want everybody to understand. I want you to be able to recognize the patterns, see the methodology that I've created. So many new people have joined up with me. It's very, very hard to keep track of where they are, but I'm doing the best I can because it's just so many people have just come in out of left field. And my goal here is to make you successful traders. For all of you, I'm not here to promote as an affiliate. I'm here to teach you whether you're trading a prop account or multiple prop accounts, and or you're trading your own live money, and or if you're trading prop accounts combined with your personal account. But again, the psychology of trading is, so today a couple people who are with me hit their goals for the day, and then I said, okay, time out. Now I would look to buy another account, okay, buy another funded account, hit the goal on that, because I don't think people, again, I think you have to be at a certain level before you can start linking one account to 5 or one account to 10 or one account to 20, because there's just too much pressure on people, right? So I think you do it in gradual steps. You become confident. You try to pass one account, okay? You hit your goal for the day. You go to another account. You hit your goal for the day on that one, whether it's 100, 300, 500, whatever, and you keep just going. This morning, a bunch of my guys here hit their goals, hit their targets early in the morning, and they said, what would you do? I said, I would go buy another account. That's what they did, and they traded that account. But ultimately, what you want to do is to be able to have multiple accounts, maybe five accounts with one firm where you link 1 + 4, another same with another firm. Some firms let you do 20 accounts, some firms let you do 10, most of them let you only do 5. But the psychology here, okay, is to be able to be consistent. All right. Someone texted me at the end of the day, Steve, can I talk to you? I'm not good at putting stop orders in. I said, well, you can't do that. I said, you can't do that. You're not bigger than the market, right? I said, so I have a mental stop in my head. I have a dollar stop, okay? If I get to a certain point dollar-wise, boom, I close all. Boom, that's it. Then I go back in, or I'm done for the day, right? So today gold had a big run-up. It dropped. It was wild. It was absolutely wild, right? And this person elected not to cover when it dropped, and when it shot back up, he didn't. So instead of taking some profit and then lowering your stop, and let's just say he didn't even do that. Let's say he just put a stop in at 42.62. The most he would have lost was maybe about $200-300 tops, right? Instead, it went more. He traded around it, and it was a fiasco. And then he shorted more, and then I said this gold's going to drop, and boy, oh boy, did it drop. It dropped like 20 points, like that. It went from 40 to 72 all the way down to 40 to 51 or something like that, or 48, 46. So it dropped very, very sharply. But again, got lucky. But the point is that if you, in the art of trading, don't be your own worst enemy. And again, I tell people all the time, I'm not a psychologist, but there are rules to the game which I went over yesterday. But most important, please use your stops and be able to, don't let yourself beat yourself, okay? Trade what you see. Today, all morning long, people are like, oh, this is happening. I'm like, guys, enough. Trade what's in front of you. Don't overthink. Don't let your psychological thinking affect your trading. My mind is completely blank, and you know what? So many people, Stephen, great advice, great, unbelievable. Don't overthink. So again, psychology plays a very big role here in trading, and that's what I wanted to emphasize here tonight. All right, thank you for joining me tonight on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Please hit the subscribe button. Please leave a comment. Also, if you like to join my community of traders from all around the world, please go to my website, sktrading.live. Also, if you'd like to follow me on social media, it's at official Stephen Kalayjian on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, if you like to join me tonight, I'll be hosting the Asia session sponsored by My Funded Futures from 8 to 10 on SK Trading YouTube, also on My Funded Futures YouTube. Also, if you'd like to reach out to me, my cell phone number is 914-500-7484. With that being said, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. God bless you. Enjoy every second. And most of all, God bless the United States of America. Good night, everybody.